Beste vrienden, van harte welkom in basis Koksijde, de thuisbasis van onze Sea Kings. Het is voor mij een eer uw gastheer te mogen zijn en u dankzij deze film een blik achter de schermen te gunnen. Het ligt in mijn bedoeling om u in te wijden in het dagelijkse leven van onze basis en van haar omgeving. U zal getuige zijn van het werk en de inzet van onze mensen en een zicht krijgen op de realiteit van het Search&Rescue gebeuren. Tevens zal u merken dat er een stevige band bestaat tussen de basis en de inwoners van de gemeente Koksijde. Ik wens iedereen te bedanken die geholpen heeft aan de realisatie van deze film. Speciaal wens ik de mensen van ProWing te bedanken voor hun professioneel werk en de Nationale Loterij voor de steun die zij aan het project verleend hebben. Ik wens u alvast veel kijkgenot. Fasten seatbelts en prettige vlucht.
The sea gives and the sea takes. As long as man can go out on it, he'll always bring us the wonderful fruits of the sea, often at the risk to his own life. Who hasn't heard of the tough but friendly horse fishermen who've been immortalized by painters, sculptors, photographers and filmmakers over the years? There was a time when the horse fishermen could be seen along the coasts of the north of France, the south of England and Holland. Today, however, they're only to be found on the Belgian coast at Oostduinkerke. Prawn fishing is an ancient tradition where the horse pulls a heavy fishing net through the water along the seashore. Shrimp dishes have become an exquisite speciality in Oostduinkerke. The horse fishermen, high on their sturdy and proud farm horses, still command everyone's respect as they laboriously make their way through the waves. And like all fishermen, the horse fishermen also have a special bond with the search and rescue base of Koksijde, their friends in need, to protect them when the tide turns against them. Each year, the open day at the Koksijde base attracts thousands of enthusiastic visitors. big or small, aviation fan or just passerby. The Koksijde base has everything for a great day out for all. Besides its large variety of exhibits on the ground, Koksijde also has a spectacular airshow with terrific flying displays. The annual airshow is also the time for old friends to catch up with what's been happening since last year.
I haven't seen you for ages.
No, you made it. You're still looking good, well.
Yeah.
Top civil and military pilots give of their best to entertain the crowd. One of the traditional highlights of the show is without any doubt the Belgian F-16 solo display, always a guarantee for thrills and excitement. Pilots of the home-based Westland Sea Kings of Koksijde also give a great demonstration of their skills and craftsmanship. The Koksijde Open Day Airshow is a non-profit organisation supporting the widows and children of airmen who've died. For more than 27 years, the Sea Kings of Koksijde have stood ready to rescue their fellow men in need. Another event that underlines the excellent relationship between the base and the community of Koksijde is the yearly Military Tattoo, a musical gathering of military bands from all over Europe. In the presence of the mayor, the base commander of Koksijde and many guests, the musicians treat the crowd to a great evening with a varied programme of military tunes. Hundreds of thousands of tourists have experienced the hospitality to be found at the Belgian coast, along with the art of preparing fine seafood. The base at Koksijde is also a haven of hospitality for several organisations of the community, underlining the close links and mutual respect that's to be found between the base and the population of Koksijde, as here, for instance, in the making of this giant paella. Koksijde Air Base has an airfield and barracks. In total there are 2 runways, one still fully operational, the other used solely for taxiing. There are 3 main hangars, of which one is for maintenance, and an air traffic control tower, firefighters and an airfield security brigade. And it's also home to the 40th Squadron. The total surface area of the airfield is 350 hectares. Across the road from the airfield are the barracks housing administration, the kitchen, logistics, vehicle maintenance and the fuel depot. The medic department and the military dormitories are also located in this compound. The Germans set up a base here during the war, which the Belgian Air Force took over afterwards, leaving most of the fields to the farmers to grow wheat. The air base's initial task was to offer help in the case of aviation accidents, but soon it turned to helping seamen in need. Gradually the base turned into one of the major employers in the area, creating strong links with the community. We're now flying over the centre of Koksijde, where tourism is one of the major economic factors. The many cosy restaurants, hotels and holiday homes, and the vast sandy beaches offer the tourist everything to make an ideal and relaxing holiday. The helicopters at Koksijde base have always been popular with tourists, who always get a friendly wave back from the crew as they fly past. Returning to the base, we fly over the vast stretch of dunes of the area. Although you might easily think you're flying over a desert here, these dunes are a natural reserve of peace and tranquility, both for man, birds and animals. The base and the town of Koksijde indeed form a close community in perfect harmony and understanding. A cold early morning in late October. The day slowly begins with a traditional cup of coffee and a quick look at the newspaper. The day officially starts with the morning briefing at 8:30 sharp.
Also the upper winds are from southwesterly direction around 10 knots. The south one valid for today.
At 1200 feet. The extreme east and southeastern parts of Belgium and red conditions due to foggy conditions.
De bedoeling is dat iedereen gewoon doet. Je moet niet zien of letten op wat er gezegd, dan wordt er toch allemaal uitgeknipt, dat zal niet.
Dat zal maar gaan misschien niet. Dat moet misschien niet.
Het zijn dus geen mediamensen die met sommige uitspraken moeten verdedigen.
With the briefing and the weather report over, the base commander closes the briefing and takes his leave after the standard salutes. Then it's time to get down to the serious business. The squadron personnel start their daily routines, each one of them adding his or her essential part to the clockwork of efficiency that's called BCOX. Arthur Chalk, or Turke Talk as he's known, makes sure the flying gear is in perfect condition. Heavy maintenance is carried out in the maintenance hangar after flight checks or minor repairs are performed in the hairpin shelter. The base comes to life. Slowly, the sound of engines fill the air. Some pilots perform engine checks. Others train on engine failure safety procedures. The divers of BCOX instruct their fellow flying crew members on crash landing situations. They have 3 locations for this survival training. One at the base, where they practice in icy cold weather. They teach the personnel techniques and give them regular training on what to do and how to survive in a helicopter crash in the sea, how to hold their breath properly, how to find their way out of the helicopter cockpit when it's upside down in the water. They also train them in the use of flares to identify their location to the other SAR teams. There's a second training facility at the Koksijde Hoge Blekker swimming pool. where, amongst experienced water rats and young dolphins, military personnel can work in warmer conditions. The third training facility is at the MTC, or Maritime Training Centre, in Maasvlakte in Holland. Since 1981, the MTC has been actively involved in organising training courses for the offshore and shipping industry and for helicopter crews from all around the world. MTC offers various launching installations, as well as an indoor training pool equipped with wave, rain and wind machines. BCOX flying personnel trains with the helicopter underwater training module to have a real-life simulation of a sea crash in various conditions and how to escape from it. This shows just how far the personnel of BCOX is prepared to go for their job, to save the lives of their fellow men at the risk of their own lives. BCOX also hosts the Marine Flight, a small unit of dedicated men who provide liaison missions with frigates of the Belgian Navy. The unit flies 3 French-built Alouette III helicopters carrying personnel, performing single-winch missions and executing deck landings. The Marine Flight, previously a unit within the Belgian Navy, became part of BCOX in 1961 as part of a streamlining of all SAR forces within one active specialised unit. The Alouette III has been in service since 1971 and has become a reliable part of flying history, or as AL3 pilots call it, part of Jurassic flight. Meanwhile, a Sea King crew is assisting a briefing for a sea mission.
Weet je niet, dan gaan we eerst een double down, cable cut, links naast de ditching, positie 2, 3 en dan bijhouden en dan laten we met de medic.
The crew have two flying suits, a green one for flights over warm water and an orange one for cold water conditions. This means under 12 degrees Celsius. These flying suits are fully waterproof and provide improved thermal insulation to give the crew a better chance of survival in a crash in icy cold water conditions. On this cold but sunny winter morning, the crew starts its routine procedures. The SARSO, the Search and Rescue System operator, starts looking for a target, for a boat. He guides the pilots to it, then the flight engineer or cargo master announces the radio frequency they want to communicate through, and when permission is given from the captain of the ship, the winching training can begin. Winching operations are particularly tricky for the pilots. They have to ensure they always fly into the wind towards the ship to be able to hold the Sea King hovering above it. But the sea can be rough. The ship can be rocking up and down. The pilot has to be very focused so as not to hit the ship's mast while the cargo master gives the pilot the right additional information. It's a constant fight between the elements of nature and the Sea King crew. This is sheer professionalism and teamwork at its best. Another crew is also preparing for a sea mission. This time, however, the diver will perform a winch at sea and a dive from the helicopter. We take off flying over Koksijde. SARSO locates a tanker, and after receiving authorization on Channel 67, the crew starts the training. The Pro-Wing onboard cameras give you a dramatic insight into the precision work being carried out by the whole crew. Day after day, these men train to improve their techniques, to achieve perfect teamwork, to be prepared for when things go really wrong and lives have to be saved. These men put their fears aside and will go to the edge whenever someone's life is in danger. Then it's time for the diver to perform the winch down. If he's in a real hurry, he simply jumps. Afterwards, he's winched up again, or sometimes he has to do it the hard way. There's no doubt that practice does make perfect.
Air Force 93, this is Koksijde Rescue. We have medevac. D93 sends the copy.
The sea exercise has to be cut short because the SASO has just received a call for a medevac air, a medical airlift.
What's our ET at NOH? We are 10 minutes out. And visual with the spot.
There's been an explosion at a cockerel production plant in Liège. 2 people have died and 13 are badly burned. 2 of them have to be flown urgently from Liège to a specialized hospital in Neder-over-Eembeek. Specialized personnel and equipment is picked up first, then the Sea King flies off to Liège.
2 greens, clears to land.
Dedicated crew members take care of the patients who are fighting for their lives. The crew flies them to the Brussels hospital, where specialized personnel will take care of them. Every second counts, and thanks to the SAR of Cox and this crew, these patients arrived on time. Now their long road to recovery can begin. The SAR of Koksijde watches over us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Every minute of the day or night, a helicopter and its entire crew are standing by to take off within 15 minutes. Flying at night over the sea is very scary. Once the familiar lights of the coast have disappeared, the night is black as pitch. The crew has to fly on instruments. The diffused red light assures a minimum of visibility inside the helicopter. Routine is the key word now. And off they go, winching onto and from a large cargo ship in the middle of the North Sea. And this is no studio mock-up. This is the real stuff. After the flight, the mechanics take care of the Sea King, refueling, cleaning the engines of the salty seawater that might have got in them, performing outside checks. If necessary, they repair technical failures immediately, even if it takes all night. The Sea Kings have to be ready to fly. Koksijde, Oost-Duinkerke and St. Idisbald are some of the popular tourist destinations at the Belgian coast. They offer lovely beaches, plenty of good restaurants and hotels, and a lot of recreational opportunities. The Koksijde base is also a popular attraction and plays an important PR role for the Belgian Ministry of Defence. All year long, schools and organisations put in requests to visit the base, and it's not unusual for the base to welcome school children or organisations 3 to 4 times a week. Watching the firefighters in action is always a treat, and the foam demonstration turns the scenery into a winter postcard. Just look at the children's faces, see their excitement and their gratitude when they're allowed to be a firefighter, even if it's just for a few minutes. Cox not only plays a PR role, but provides a vital educational support to a lot of young children who gain valuable information from their visits. Sometimes the base tries to make a wish come true. The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps to fulfill the wish of young patients with life-threatening diseases. The base willingly assisted in making Ward's wish come true. Sometimes TV producers come to the base with Belgian stars and personalities to film, such as with the former Miss Belgium. What they didn't know, however, was that VCOX had an unscheduled surprise in store for her. A rather naughty one, in fact. This surely wasn't in her scenario. But when you're a miss, you have to keep smiling. However, the most popular event during a visit to the base or during an airshow is without any doubt the impressive Sea King display.
RSC Koksijde. Goedemiddag. Ja, zegt u maar de Blizzy, positie 51, 24, 60 Noord, 002, 33, 00 East.
Oké, ja, tot ziens.
Tot ziens.
The base gets a scramble. The wing ops sounds the alarm. Every second counts now. A life is at stake. pilots perform an accelerated scramble, power on and take off. What you're about to see here is real. Life is a constant fight against time, against the sea, where every member of the crew will try to save this man with serious cardiac problems. All the exercises, all the training will now bear fruit in a real-life situation. Now is the time to do the job and to do it right.
Are you ready to take control? Cargo is ready. Cargo is control. Diver attach, winching down the dive. Forward 3, right 1, coming on top. Diver attached, winching up the diver and off.
The crew doesn't give up. They keep on fighting for the patient's life. The Sarso has already contacted the nearest hospital, where an emergency team is waiting for them. The team take charge of the patient, leaving an emotional heli crew behind. But they know they did everything they possibly could to help this man. A day at B Cox Air Base is always exciting. It's always full of life and motion. Ever since 1962 with the Sikorsky, and from 1976 with the Sea King, Beacocks have been serving the community, offering a SAR service for whoever is in trouble or in danger. Since then, more than 2,000 interventions were carried out, saving the lives of more than 1,200 people. The mighty kings of the sea watch over us, reach out a helping hand, and save those in peril. Thanks to the base at Koksijde and the dedication of its ground personnel, its pilots, and its air crews, the sea has now become a safer place.